Welcome. In this installment, we're going to create a class, be kind of like an image or a sprite class that we will then be able to move around and animate through code on screen. I've cleaned up. I just have my main script here. I have my main document here. Now, if we end up with lots of classes, it's nice to load them in separate files. Key thing is if our main script here is going to access that, we would want to make sure that we are loading our script before it. So I would be loading before I load my main script where it's accessing it. So that's a small gotcha. In this case, I'm going to initially start out and create it as part of the main script here because I'm going to create a fairly simple class. As our projects grow in complexity, we may want to separate them out a little bit more. To see the sections in our script here, I like to just put in a big line like that, put in a big line like this. So I have somewhere to work, and on this now I'm going to create a class, and I'll just say class, and my class here, I will call this my day unicorn. And it's a good idea. Convention classes always start with a capital letter. And I really do like how it's giving me a lot of the starting points that I want on it. And we can keep all of that, except I'm just going to change this to day. Just like that. So we can see that's red right there. It's telling me, if I hit return, no, oh, wow, it's even giving me the next method that I want. Return, close, and the next method after that I want, return, tab, and if I just keep hitting tab, I get the magic that I'm looking for. This is fantastic. I really am kind of enjoying some of the code completion here. I will just add a comment on that one. Do we have to put commas at the end? No, but for the number of times that I have been burned by missing a curly brace, put it in before you start filling up your code with lots of stuff. And at this point, end class. Perfect. Yeah, this is working out really well. So we have the update and draw. I like to do my update first, finish with draw. Now we have our X and our Y and our width and our height. Because of the code completion, we could just kind of leave these. Otherwise, if we want to be a little bit lazy with it, we can just X, Y, W, H, which that's what I'm going to do on this particular one. And we could set speed and all kinds of other fun things like that. I am going to shrink it down. So we're going to just make these much smaller. And I'll just make it 100 by 100. Let's see, how big is the image right now? The image is 435 by 556. So if we just go 100 by 110 or something like that, that'll be close enough. Don't need the doubles on that. Okay. Now, we had similar code that I've now deleted out of here, but this time we'll be having to use this on it. We use this to reference the variables that are within our class. When we're talking about any of the variables or methods that we want to access within a class, then we use this on it. So that tells us that we're referencing things that happen inside, in this case, these yellow curly braces. So under update, my day unicorn, we want to repeat what we had going before. Then we can go y plus equals 1. And then if, so it's telling me y greater than canvas height, and then that sets it back to 0. Okay, yeah, why not? Let's go with that, but we'll immediately see we have a problem here. And if we wanted to, if we weren't using code completion and wanted to, I would create a variable. I would say const cw equals this and const ch equals this, and then I could just use that shortened version in here without spelling it out. But I can see right away this will cause an error if I don't go and populate that with this dot. So if you alt click, you can insert your cursor on multiple lines like I just did, so I just had to type it one time. That can be a handy way of working. And now our draw method, as we're going to work with it, is this is where we're going to tell our context. So instead of drawing it here, comment both of those out, we're not going to be using them. This is where we do the CTX, draw image, and wow. That is fabulous. I don't have to hardly type a thing. Hit tab, done. So that draws it at an X and Y location and at a width and a height of my choosing, which it will scale my image down. The next thing that we can do, and just in the interest of space, we're just going to get rid of them. And we need to now make an instance of this class. So this class, we don't have an instance of it yet. So now we can just say const lowercase day uni, and we could do the full unicorn, or yeah, why not? Code completion, it's beautiful. Notice lowercase version here, uppercase version there. The uppercase refers to the class, and now it's giving me that code there. So we'll say yes, please. Day unicorn update, day unicorn draw, request animation is running there. Save this and let's see what we get. And voila, I now have that running. That is fabulous. Cool part about this is that's day unicorn there. Now, what we could do is modify it a little bit. So we could pass some values in, so I could make multiple ones and make them start. I could make it go to a random location, or I can specify where I want it to go. So we can pass values in the same way we've done in other programming in the past. So if my X here, I'm going to just say I want my first one to be at 2. Well, if we leave it at 400 and hit escape, I don't want the rest of it. I'm only going to just be dumping it an X value in, or we could do an X and a Y because that's pretty typical. And my Y's are all 0 like that. And now if I go up here, look at that, X and Y, boom. And now it goes, hey, do you want to change it to this? And as a matter of fact, I do. Notice it's this dot X is now equal to X, the X that's being passed in. That is fabulous. That is absolutely fabulous. And now I made it at 200 instead of 400. So we can see that's where it is, 400. So now it should drop off and be somewhere in that column right about there. So once I hit save, we'd see, boom, it moved it over there. That is fantastic. Go here, copy, paste, paste again. Let's say day unicorn 2. This one I will put at 400. And I will start it at 200. And now it knows that I want that, so I'll just hit tab. Nope. Okay, there we go. Save, cleans it up, and they're moving. If we want them to have different speeds, we could put in a random value as well. So instead of plus equals 1, just going to modify that right now. And we will set a value of this dot speed. So we could have a Vx and a Vy for X and Y velocity, or speed X, speed Y. I'm feeling... Oh wait, we're doing our Y change there. And in this case, I'm going to say, I want to make a random number. So the way we do that is we say math. Wow. That is fabulous. Just like this. So math.random, M is capitalized on math, random, no caps. And we multiply it by the range. This gives me a random number 0 to 1. 0 to 1 times 2 will give me a range between 0 and 2. And then we're adding 1 to it, so my speed will be somewhere between 1 and 3 on it. That's great. And now it's like, hey, I want this. Yep, okay, I'll take that as well. This dot y plus equals this dot vy. Now if we look here and save, we can see one's going faster than the other. We reload the page. Now the other one's going faster. This is great. So you can add as many objects as you want. If you add in lots of objects, we could then, we'll look at how we can put them into an array so that we can loop through that array of objects. But for right now, we've proven that we can code multiple objects, use a class to further organize our code, created individual values for each one. If you didn't want random speeds, if you wanted fixed speeds, you could pass values in for it. So you could be passing in a Vx or a Vy if you knew you wanted to hard code in that speed for it and didn't just want it to be random chance for what happens. But it's up to you. You figure out how you want to make it work. But it's similar to what we've done. We have our constructor, we have our update method, and we have our draw method, and then we are going to draw our whole scene. It's not that different than other programming that we've done. The biggest distinction is we had to use the keyword this on variables that are defined in our constructor. And the other distinction is we don't then define all of our values outside of the constructor as part of our class, and we're able to now have things nicely contained. So it's a little bit different, but it's kind of still the same. Good luck, happy coding.